The playoffs are here, everyone, and it is time. The games start tomorrow with 2 games on the schedule. We'll do our predictions at that time, but let us go into what I think will happen in the playoff picture. There are so many storylines in this first round. We got the battle of the Schenn brothers. Winnipeg Jets has Luke Schenn. The St. Louis Blues has Braden Schenn. We will see who gets out on top. I'm going to be doing my bracket challenge with you guys in just a minute. So we also have the Battle of Ontario, the first time in 21 years that the Battle of Ontario has commenced. So it's going to be absolute cinema for NHL viewers. And then we also got the Battle of Florida. It's going to be a bloodbath in that one. I would say it's going to be a bloodbath, but at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see how Florida comes out of the gates because their players have been very injured as of late. So we will see what happens there. We also got Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings facing off for the 4th consecutive year in a row this year. Will the LA Kings be able to take over that reign and beat the Edmonton Oilers finally? And if we are being completely honest, I think there is only one series in this first round that is going to be a little bit lopsided. Every other game and matchup in this first round is going to be, it'll go either way. So it's hard to predict. It's hard to do this bracket challenge because the league is in such a good spot right now where there are so many good teams. Every year, the first round is the best round. And there are some Stanley Cup or it would be Western Conference or Eastern Conference final matchups that happen in the first round. This year's being Colorado and Dallas. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. Another talking point of this is that the Eastern Conference seems to be a lot weaker this year than the Western Conference. The Western Conference has some juggernaut of teams. So I think there are only 2 teams that are realistically going to come out of the East, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But sit back, relax, and enjoy me going over my bracket challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun, so you feel free to chirp. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know with how my brain is going that a lot of people would disagree, but we shall see. Let's do the bracket. So here it is. The bracket is set. Every team has been confirmed to be in the playoffs. There are a couple teams that I'm a little sad will not be in the playoffs. But let's start in the Western Conference in this one. We have the Winnipeg Jets taking on the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues, they went on that 12-game win streak a little while ago. So it's just going to be very hard to predict what is going to happen. The Blues, I think, could very much upset the Winnipeg Jets because of how much the Jets have flopped in the playoffs recently. But I have to go with the President's Trophy winners in this first round. So next, we got the Battle of Rantanen. The Colorado Avalanche, former owners of Mikko Rantanen, now the Dallas Stars, the current owners, and for the next 8 years, current owners of Mikko Rantanen, the Dallas Stars. Who was it that got hurt the other day? Robertson on Dallas got hurt, so they are a little banged up. We will see what happens, but I am a closet pretty big Avs fan. I love Nathan MacKinnon. Makar is top 3 or 4 favorite player in the league for me. So and in my work playoff bracket yesterday, I picked a couple Colorado Avalanche, so it would be stupid for me not to pick Colorado. And what a second round matchup that will be between the Winnipeg Jets and the Colorado Avalanche. Also, side note, how stupid is it that the NHL website can't fit this stupid easy bracket on one page? Get your crap together, fellas. Anyways, so up next, we got the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild. The Wild, they squeaked in. They were very, very, very injured for, a lot of this season. So it might seem like they squeaked in, but the hot start that they had to the beginning of this year is a testament to show how good they were at the beginning of the year because they were able to squeak into the playoffs. The Flames were very close to catching them. But Vegas, they have the likes of Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Shea Theodore, Noah Hanifin, Dorofeyev, Tomas Hertl. I just find Vegas way too good to not be able to get to the second round. Up next, we got the LA Kings taking on the Edmonton Oilers for the 4th consecutive season. I am going to go with the LA Kings. Whoa. Okay. First, before I talk about the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers, before I pick how many games are going to be in each round, I'm going to say the Edmonton Oilers, they're just a little weak this year. They have a lot of the same squad, but I just find them, and LA has been extremely good as well, so it's hard to say who's going to do what. But I just find LA, and it's stupid. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. It's stupid to think that the LA Kings will learn their lesson because as a Leafs fan, the Leafs have not won their or learned their lesson yet. So it's hard to say LA has, but I just find something's off with the Edmonton Oilers this year. So we will see what happens. Predict how many games will be played in each series in the Western Conference. Winnipeg, St. Louis, I'm going to go 6. Dallas, Colorado, I think that could be a 7. Vegas, Minnesota, I'm going to say 5 or 6. Minnesota, Kaprizov, This is where it gets kind of tricky. I'm going to say 5. And then I'm going to say LA in 6. Whoo boy. All right. The Toronto, no, we're not doing Toronto yet. This first matchup in the Eastern Conference, the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New Jersey Devils. I think out of every single matchup in this first round, this is the one that is most likely to be a sweep in Carolina's favor. So I'm going to go with Carolina. New Jersey, Markstrom hasn't been very good as of late. He's been pretty weak, like very weak, I should say. But they also don't have Jack Hughes. Dougie Hamilton just came back. There's a couple other players. I have Jesper Bratt in my playoff pool, but I think he'll get a couple goals, but that's it from New Jersey. It's just tough. Carolina's so good as well, so it's hard to go against Carolina, but there's usually a sweep in the first round, so this is going to be my sweep. Up next, we got the Montreal Canadiens. The fairy tale continues for the Habs against the Washington Capitals. This very well could be an upset. I could see it being an upset big time. Just Montreal's so hot right now. Washington's not limping into the playoffs, but they are not looking very good. I think the whole Ovi chase was kind of clouding the fact that they haven't been playing very good hockey in the last 10 games. So we will see what happens. I'd love to see a Canadian team move on. But how do you go against the second best team in the league? You're currently watching my inner head dilemmas. So I'm going to go Montreal. Here is an upset. And look at those two Reds. Up next, I don't feel very confident about that. I'm changing. I'm going Washington. I can't pick Montreal. I don't think they're quite there yet, but I would be absolutely thrilled if they upset Washington. So let's go stick with that. I'm picking Washington, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. Up next, we got the Florida Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Battle of Florida. These two teams absolutely hate each other. There was fisticuffs flying in the last game a couple days ago, and it's just going to be crazy to see these two teams face off against each other once again. And it shouldn't go unnoticed that these two matchups, the Ottawa Senators and the Leafs Sens and the Tampa Bay Lightning Florida series, that is a lot less travel than some of these other teams have to make. So that is very good body preservation in the first round. You're not on the planes as much. You're not on the road as much. You're not in hotels as much. Well, you might be in hotels just as the same amount of time, but the travel does take a toll on these teams. As like Washington to Montreal is not too bad. Winnipeg to Colorado is not too bad. There's not a lot of horrible ones, but these are ideal if you are wanting good travel. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think Tampa Bay is one of the two teams that has a very good chance of coming out of the Eastern Conference. So we will see what happens. I just think Florida, they are the reigning Stanley Cup champions. So in order for Tampa Bay to do this, they do have to take the cup out of the gripping hands of the Cats. So we will see what happens. I don't want Tampa to win. I like Florida better, but I just think Florida's too hurt right now. Tkachuk, it looks like he will be back for game one, but You never know. Up next, my favorite, my die-hard favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Taking on the Ottawa Senators for the first time in 21 years. 2017 was the last time that the Ottawa Senators made the playoffs. And it just so happens that 2017 is the first year that the Toronto Maple Leafs, with this core, with Matthews, Marner, Nylander, JT, that is the first time that they made the playoffs en route to 9 straight Stanley Cup or playoff berths. So there's a lot of weird things that are happening in the NHL, not in the NHL, in the Leafs realm right now. If you want some good quality conspiracy theories, you pick Toronto Maple Leafs to win the Cup, because there are so many weird things that are happening in the universe right now that are pointing towards 1967 and the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's just crazy. I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head. But if you want a good guy to follow online, follow Hockey Illuminati. He is insane at finding these connections. It's so fun to watch. But how can you not go with your favorite team? The Toronto Maple Leafs will defeat the Ottawa Senators. I'm saying it's going to be in 6 games. The Ottawa Senators, I think, will win 1 at home and 1 away, due to the fact that Ottawa is usually a home game for Toronto due to how many fans invade that arena. I don't know how it will be in the playoffs. I know the Senators are actively trying to prevent this from happening, so we will see what happens. Tampa Bay, Florida, I'm going to say in 6 as well. Montreal, Washington, I'm going to say 6 as well. And Carolina, New Jersey, I'm saying it's going to be a sweep. That's my one sweep of this first round, so we will see what happens. All right, I don't think I have to say how many games for the next rounds, except for the finals, maybe. The Winnipeg Jets taking on the Colorado Avalanche. I think this is where the Jets season ends. I'm going to go with the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights. What a Western Conference final that will be. Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Leafs have their only record of winning in the first round is against the Tampa Bay Lightning, so I am predicting that the Leafs will be able to do it again. Tampa is an extremely good team, so I'm not confident in this choice, but I have to go with the Leafs. The Washington Capitals taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm thinking the Carolina Hurricanes will do it. I really do. I think the Carolina Hurricanes have enough to get to this point, but then the Toronto Maple Leafs will be there. And they will not be able to get to the finals because the Leafs are so dominant in the playoffs, obviously. Then we have Vegas, Colorado, which would go either way. It's bananas how close these two teams would be able to get to each other. That makes no sense. It's insane how close these two teams are in skill set. Colorado, they rebuilt their team from the ground up this year, getting rid of both their goalies, getting 2 Woods in, Blackwood and Wedgwood, into their goaltending tandem. And then you have McKinnon, you have Makar, you have Nichushkin, you have Natchez, you have all these juggernauts. But then you meet the Eichels, the Stones, the Dorofeyevs, like I mentioned earlier. But that is going to be that is technically a Stanley Cup final, but it just sucks that these two teams are in the same conference. So I'm going to go with the Avalanche just because I like them better. There's no there probably is a mathematical, but I don't do math. I don't think there's a mathematical reason behind my choosing Colorado over Vegas, because it could go either way. The only thing I would say is the goaltending. I wouldn't trust Adin Hill and Samsonov as much as I would Wedgwood and Blackwood. So that is where, in my head, I had the advantage. Now, you're pulling at my heartstrings. The only thing worse than this, in my mind, is if it was the Flames taking on the Leafs, because I would literally be in tears every game. I would cheer every goal in the series. I would cry after every goal in the series. But I'm going to say, you have to do it. I know it's biased. I know it's BS, because it's probably not going to happen because the Leafs suck in the playoffs. But I am going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. But at the same time, I honestly think that this team is the best built team in the Matthews era. So why not? Why not, as Steve Dangle says, why not the Leafs this year? There is no reason If they were not the Toronto Maple Leafs and they had the same squad, a lot of people would be picking them to be winning the cup. But it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they have some voodoo stuff around them that they just can't get over the hump. I think this year, and not even biased, I think this year they have a very, very, very good shot at doing it. So, Stanley Cup champions, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Predict the total number of goals scored in the Stanley Cup Finals series. Let's say the series went 6 games. I'm going to write on my little notepad here. Let's say the series went 6 games. Let's say 4-1, 3-2, 3-1, and then a blowout, 5-1. That's 4 games, and then a 4-3 OT win. I don't know where I'm coming up with this, but let's just say, and then the next one would be another 3-2. So that's 4, 7, 10, 15, 19, 22, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 32. 32? I don't know. I have read and understand the rules. I'm going to submit my bracket. Missed required params? But how? I don't know what is happening. Anyways, this is my bracket. So I'm just going to leave you guys with this. This is my bracket. The Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm going to figure out why it's not letting me save my bracket. So we will see you. Thank you so much for watching this video. It is the playoffs. It is the best time of year. It's the most wonderful time of the hockey season. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Happy Easter to everyone.